How are you feeling? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? Talking to you, by the way.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, the thing is that's why I've bought some music to soothe the soul. Because I thought you were going to be in a bit of a mess this morning when I called to record a podcast with you. So I have visions of me walking into this studio, Bec's bedroom, playing this, trying to coax you out of your pit and get you going and warm you up and get you ready for another week of Chasing 40. But you're actually quite sprightly.
I am. Do you know what? When I woke up, though, I was thinking, I could just lie here. Jeff can let himself in. And he can just sit down next to us, make me tea, bring me a bacon sandwich, and I don't have to get up.
We've already established I couldn't let myself in because I can barely still find your flat. Every single week, I ring up back and say, what number is it again? Even though I've been coming here now for the past month or so, I'm still confused as to what door it is and what one I have to go to. But the reason I've started this in a soothing way for Bec is last night I'd sent her my customary message on a Friday to say, look, we've got this Bob's and this and that to talk about on the show. Are you good to go? 9 a.m, because that's when we record, 9 a.m. first thing on a Saturday morning. Bec just sent me back a picture of her with her gang drinking two bottles of Prosecco.
It was 2 bottles at the table at that time.
She then sent pictures of cocktails, then more cocktails, then it just went on and on and on. So I'm sat there, I sent her a picture back of me reading that George Harrison book.
Still.
With a cup of tea. And then I woke up first thing on Saturday morning and saw a message from her saying, I'll give it my best shot. I think my last thing was, come on, Bec, drink plenty of water before you go to bed and I'll turn up with the coffee in the morning. So I thought I'd bring this in. There's a couple of other things I wanted to do with my little ukulele, but I thought something like that would soothe the soul and rouse you up and get you going. So here we go. It is another week. It is Chasing 40. It's a big anniversary this week. 2 big anniversaries for me.
Really?
And one of them coincides with something that I was really, really worried about after last week's podcast, but I'll get to that in a few moments' time. It is 7 years ago this week, and I've got to say a big hello to my friend Scott, who reminded me of this one, of me forgetting my pants. And in honour of that, that is why episode 4 of Chasing 40 is called Don't Forget Your Pants.
Yeah, pants as in pants or pants as in underpants?
Which is a bit of crucial information anyway, because in everyday life, never forget your pants. It could cause problems. Have I ever told you the story about when, now a good friend of ours, again, Scott, who we both used to work with, our traffic and travel guy at one of the radio stations that we worked at many, many years ago. Scott got married 7 years ago. It was his anniversary.
Is that 7 years?
7 years since he married the lovely Katrina.
Wow.
Now, because obviously we're good friends, Scott had said to me, Jeff, I'm not even going to...
No, keep doing it. Come on.
Jeff, my name is Scott, and I want you to... No.
I'm sorry, Scott.
I don't do the impressions. Scott had said to me, basically, can you do me a favour? We'd love it for you to do a reading at our wedding. So I thought that'd be great, really. I'd be really, really happy to.
Yeah.
He also wanted me to play the music as well for the ins and outs, which worried me slightly because it was a Saturday morning. I was thinking, oh no, Friday night, hangover. So anyway, I had to do a reading of a B.B. King song. So I'd memorised this literally. Because I was really worried. I didn't want to botch it up on his big day. I wanted to make sure that I was perfect, word perfect. So I memorised this B.B. King song. I had it all sorted. And then that Saturday morning, I got in the car and drove all the way to, I think it was Cowell Bay where he got married, down in Wales. Got there, I walked in the venue, shook Scott's hand, said, I'm really, really proud to do this for you today. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Went up to my room and I thought I'll get my... And literally there was an hour and a half to go before the wedding, if that, right. I thought I'll just get my suit on. Downstairs, they were getting married in the hotel. It was like a room they'd hired at this hotel. Pull my suit out of the thing. The pants are missing. I had no pants.
No!
So I've come down, right, in a pair of... And at this point, I'm wearing ripped jeans like Bon Jovi. It was cool back then.
No, it wasn't.
2010.
It really wasn't.
Well, anyway, I had these ripped jeans. So I'm thinking, oh my God. So I thought, no. What's obviously happened is when I put them in the car, they've slipped down, they'll be in the boot, they'll be somewhere in the car. So I run down the stairs and I've got a bit of a frantic look on my face. And I remember Scott and his best man saying, you all right? And I went, yeah, no problems whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. Ran out to the car, looked in the car, couldn't find the pants.
Oh.
So now I'm thinking they've got to have slipped off the hanger somewhere along the line. So I'm tracing all my steps around the car park in this place in Cowell Bay. I'm all around the hotel, around the lobby. I'm asking people, excuse me, have you seen a pair of great pants anywhere? I go, no. So anyway, go back up to the room. I look around there again. I check all my bags. I've forgotten my pants. All I've got is a suit jacket, a shirt and a tie, and me ripped jeans. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to have to do this wedding speech as some type of, I don't know, rebel Jeremy Clarkson with me ripped jeans, and it wasn't a good look. So I thought, I'm going to have to say something, and now the clock is ticking away. I literally got about 45 minutes. So I had to go downstairs, and Scott was down there with his best man, and he said, look, what's wrong? You look really, really stressed. I said, Scott, I forgot my pants. You've done what? See, I got a little bit better there, didn't I?
Yeah.
I said, I forgot my pants. So straight away, Scott, being the nicest guy in the world, said, oh, we've got to do something about this. So my instant reaction was, is there a Burton's near? Because, of course, I buy all my clothes from Burton's. There was no Burton's near. So the gold card couldn't come into use at that stage. So Scott went, don't worry about it. Because at first I was thinking, I am going to have to do it. In the jeans, I will have to do the speech. I'll have to stand there. Everyone's in posh suits and looking great. And I'll have ripped jeans on. So he says, no, don't you worry. I'll sort it. I'll get you some pants. So he makes a phone call. The pants will be here in 20 minutes. Now, I thought he'd rung one of his mates or something. Yeah. He'd rung up the house, right, and at this exact moment when he put this phone call in, he got through to his mother-in-law, right? Now, his mother-in-law, probably the proudest moment of her life, as she sits there, the bottom of the stairs, waiting for her daughter to walk down her wedding dress. That moment was ruined because as Katrina was coming down the stairs, the mother-in-law was like, okay, Scott, got you. Charging up the stairs, charging past Katrina. Katrina's going, what's going on? She's going, I'll tell you in a minute. So now Katrina's starting to think, oh my, what's happened? Something's going on with the wedding. So she's going, what's wrong, Mum? What's wrong, Mum? The mum's going, I can't tell you. She's rummaging round. And the next thing, the mum runs right back down the stairs, and Katrina goes, look, please tell me what this is my wedding day. What's going on? One of the groomsmen have forgotten their pants. I've got to take Scott's suit. So she managed to get the suit. So in the actual wedding car, when she turns up, there's a pair of pants at the side. So that's what happened. So yeah, so it was the day that I forgot my pants. And I don't know, still to this day, I don't know how I managed to get them off the mother of the bride, run up the stairs, get them on, get sorted, run back down in time to play Here Comes the Bride. In fact, it wasn't Here Comes the Bride. I think it was like a Boys to Men song or something. Wow. It was a tune, but I had to be down there to play the music. So yeah, it was 7 years ago. So I wanted to share that with you because it's very important, and it's a very important message. There could be people listening to this week who are preparing for a wedding. Don't forget your pants. If you forget your pants, you're in big trouble. Big bother. Do you know where I found the pants, by the way?
Where were they?
They were outside my flat.
Were they? So they had fallen off the hanger.
When I got back on the Sunday night, they'd fallen off the hanger. I was like, oh. Scott's such a nice guy, though. I mean, I don't know many people that would be so understanding and so calm. It's the biggest moment of his life. He's about to get married to his sweetheart Katrina, and then he's got this lunatic scouser going, I forgot my pants. But he resolved the situation, and he got it sorted, and he remained calm. But as you know, he's one of the nicest guys. Scott's such a nice guy that even if he's done something many years ago, he will always go back and apologise. He will always go back and fix it. That's how much of a lovely fella he is. And there was one moment, which I'm going to play to you now, which always makes me smile thinking back. He was talking on air about a story when he was at school. I think it was in 1991 or something. And he'd wrongly accused someone of doing something in the toilet at school. So because he felt that bad about it all these years on, what Scott decided to do was contact his old school and apologise. No. This is how much of a nice guy. This is how much of a nice guy we're talking about here. Listen to this.
Waterfield Primary.
Hi, I know this might sound really bizarre, but my name's Jeff and I'm ringing from a radio station. We've got one of your former pupils on the phone right now, and we're talking about confessing stuff on the radio today, and he did something at your school when he was there many years ago, and he just wants to quickly say sorry for it and confess.
This is a wind-up, isn't it?
No, there was a toilet incident back in 1991, and it was all my fault. It was all my fault.
It's serious. In 1991, there was an accident in the toilet, and what was his name, the one who got the blame?
It was John got the blame.
It wasn't John's fault. Okay, we've got to go. Bye-bye!
See, what a lovely guy. And also, as well, what you can tell from that is I'm an excellent impressionist.
You sound just like him. It was almost for a minute like Scott was in the room.
Yeah, because that was exactly what Bec was doing during that clip. She was closing her eyes thinking, my God, I was a bit too harsh on Jeff there. Oh, you know what? I've been worried all week about Bieber fans. What are they called? Beliebers?
Beliebers?
Yeah, I thought off the back of what we discussed on episode 3 last week about Phil Collins being the Justin Bieber of the 80s. I thought they were going to come and get me.
I'm surprised you haven't been lynched, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, have you ever had an encounter with a Belieber? Because they
I am a
Belieber.
Belieber.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
I'm a Belieber. Yeah.
Then I saw her face. Can I get me a...
Yeah.
I'm a believer.
No,
Sounds better than
I
Justin Bieber song.
I love a little bit of Bieber.
But are you loving Bieber now because he's adult Bieber, or were you like a fan of Junior Bieber as well?
No, I think that
sounds weird.
I don't. I think I could have been on a register if I was a fan of Baby Bieber.
Although Bieber, how old is Bieber now? Because Baby Bieber was about what? I don't know, when he started. What?
Wasn't he about
10?
15, 16 or something?
I
when
don't.
P Diddy bought him that Lamborghini.
I'm not a fan at all of Justin Bieber. And someone said to me the other day, I thought you would be because he was running around an Everton kit a few years ago. I was like, no, that was the last thing I needed to happen. And I know a lot of my Evertonian friends were thinking the exact same. Oh, I didn't know you were a Belieber.
Yeah, I'm a Belieber.
Well, actually, that should have been an indication then that I hadn't really pushed it that far, that you didn't swing for me, because whenever you have an altercation with a Justin Bieber fan or say anything slightly negative about him, although I don't think it was that negative last week.
I don't know, comparing him to Phil Collins is...
Look, Phil Collins was the Justin Bieber of the 80s. If you want to know all about that, listen to last week's podcast. I explain in detail and I put solid information forward to prove that Phil was as big, if not bigger, than Justin Bieber in the 1980s to what he is now. But I thought off the back of it, I thought the Beliebers are going to have me. They're going to go for me. And I was thinking back to a time when... Do you ever remember when Justin Bieber played... I don't even know whether he even played Liverpool, but for some reason he was staying at the Hard Day's Night Hotel in Liverpool, which is the Beatles theme one.
How did I not know this?
Well, I've actually... Oh, here we go. You're going to be jealous now. I've actually seen Justin Bieber.
Have you?
Yeah.
Did you touch him?
No.
Did you lick his face?
What happened was, and it was a perfect storm. I was coming out of, I think it might have been me in the Cavern. I think I might have been in the Cavern. But it was before a game. I was going into town before I go and watch Everton. And it was a Saturday afternoon. And I walk out on Matthew Street. And as I walk out on Matthew Street, we're going over, there's a pub over the road from there we were going to, and then we get a taxi. I looked to my left and there was, hundreds, maybe coming up to 1,000. There was kids absolutely everywhere, right, screaming. And I'm thinking, what the heck's going on here? And so I walk over, and I've had a few bevies at this point as well. So I walk over to it, and there's a few of the lads with us, and we're like, what's going on? And then we could see Justin Bieber t-shirts and signs. The next thing we know, they all start screaming, and I mean like, ah! And we look up, and he's waving down. Well, someone's waving from the balcony at the very, very top. So I'm like, what's that? And then some girl goes, it's Justin Bieber! So me being me, having had a few drinks and, liking a bit of an audience, decided to start hailing abuse at Justin Bieber. I can't remember what he was saying. Actually, I've remembered one thing, but I'm definitely not going to repeat that on here because libel laws do stretch, sadly, to podcasts. But so yeah, I decided to give some constructive feedback. That's the way I'll put it, of Justin Bieber and his musical performances. As you could imagine, the Belieber fans, lads who were with me all thought I was hilarious. I was a hero. The Beliebers, I thought they were going to kill me. It was a bit heated. They were shouting all sorts at me. So anyway, I quickly backed off. I said, come on, lads, let's get in the pub. So we sat there, and I'm all triumphant in this pub. Now, I could, when it had all finished, they were walking past the Beliebers, and they're looking in the window at me, and I could see them pointing, going, there. I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going on here? So anyway, we get out of the pub an hour later, and we've got to get ourselves down to Goodison. So we were going to get a taxi, but there was no taxis around, so we thought we'll walk up and we'll get the train. So no sign of any Beliebers. Everything's died down at this point. So we're getting to the station, going to Moorfield Station in Liverpool. If you're from Liverpool, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, it's an underground station, so we go down there, get onto the platform. The Beliebers are there. No, not all of them, but there was a healthy, strong group of Beliebers. So I'm thinking, oh my God, something's going to go down here. Now this is how much I fear these Beliebers. Seeing how quickly they can turn. They're all about 12 at this point as well. By the way,
hell hath no fury like a Belieber scorned. Yeah,
I'm about 31 at this point. I've got a gang of lads with me, but I'm even scared of these Beliebers. So we get to the platform, and I can see them going, that's the one there, that's the one there. So anyway, I get on the train, and then they all run over and start screaming. And I'd never heard such swear words out of 12 and 13-year-old girls. They were calling me absolutely everything. So I'm like, what? I don't know how to take this. Please close doors, please close. Doors didn't close. So anyway, I heard one of them say, you look like Paul McCartney. That was one line I picked out, you effing Paul McCartney. So I just thought, here's my chance now to get myself, save some face with the boys. So I said, Paul McCartney. I take that as a compliment. Best I could come up with against a 12-year-old girl. And she shot back, well, don't. It means you're fucking old. And at that exact moment, the doors closed. Got me. And everyone was laughing at me on the train.
Oh, mic drop right there.
Oh. I remember as the train was pulling out, I had such sadness in my heart. And that was that. It was that day that I thought, I'm never going to mess with these again. And I was off by a 12-year-old girl over Justin Bieber. Oh, so that's why last week and all of last week I was just waiting for abuse to turn up on Twitter or in the comment section of whatever platform you're listening right now. But to be fair, the Beliebers, they've left me alone. Maybe that's because they agreed with me. Cue the hate. Here we go. Let's move swiftly on.
Please.
Keeping with the theme of idols. Was it Brossette you would have been called back then?
Yes.
And you still are now?
Still are, 30 years later.
Right, okay, so I want to test your loyalty because we're going to talk about Bros now because you've had a bit of a scare this week.
Yeah.
See, it's not just me who goes on about the 80s.
They're relevant now.
We'll get on to that. Right, they're in a boat. This is the serious debate we have on Chasing 40. You got Justin Bieber and you got Bros.
Yeah.
Bros are tied together, so they're one.
Right, okay.
So they literally are. They're about to do one of them races at school
You're
where the
gonna
legs are tied
actually
together.
make me throw Justin Bieber
So one of
into
them
the shark-infested waters.
Someone survives.
Yeah.
Someone dies. Who's it going to be? Bros are like sat there going, "Come on, Bec, when will I be famous?" Bieber's sing. I don't even know what song he sings. He's singing something about baby. Yeah. Someone's going to die. Who's it going to be?
Sorry, it's going to be Justin.
So
no, don't. And you'll take that out of context, and you'll edit this, and you'll just have a clip of me going, Justin Bieber dies.
I just want it confirmed on Chasing 40 right now. I made some valid points last week about Phil Collins and Justin Bieber. They were all based on factual evidence. Bec, though, has just said she would kill Justin Bieber and wants him to die.
No, but only because I have to save Matt and Luke.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see them in August.
So go on, what's going on then? Because it's funny when I sent you this message, you were like, oh, this is about the 50th person to send me this thing. Because Bros are on the comeback trail, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they've got all these concerts that are going to be happening. Is it August? They begin? But they've had to cancel a load of them, and they're saying it's down to, we were calling BS on Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom last week with their, what was it, some sort of, it's not unconscious uncoupling, it was something like that, some real sort of...
Taking loving, respectful space.
Yeah, some weird sort of part, in other words, they split up. Bros said, we've had to cancel a load of concerts because of technical difficulties, technical artistic difficulties, which for me is code word for, we haven't sold the tickets.
They sold 2. At least, because I've got them.
So they're doing the London shows. Yeah. They're still doing the Manchester show where Bec actually might even be taking me. We've established this morning when we've had a conversation.
Yeah, I got literally, my phone went mad. The first person to break the news to me was my dad, who took far too much pleasure in texting me to tell me. He actually said that they cancelled all of the gigs. So I went into complete meltdown.
That's the thing I saw. I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to break her heart.
But no, they're doing London and Manchester, so I'm safe. I still get to see them. But yeah, I had loads. So thank you to everyone who took the time out to just, try and ruin my life.
Have you been building up your collection of bottle tops, Grolsch bottle tops?
I've still got my original ones from 1988.
Will they fit?
Will they fit? They put on these shoes. It's not like I'm going to wear them around my waist.
I thought you meant like you kept the actual... I thought you kept the actual shoes that you'd stapled them to or glued them to, whatever you do.
No, because they wouldn't.
I bet you they were the ones who, when they saw that, were going, "Oh my God, please God, no! We're about to become relevant for the first time. People are going to buy our beer just for the bottle tops. We don't need this." One of my favourite sort of memories of being in school, and it was the first time I thought to myself, you know what, I could actually have a bit of a career in show business, because I remember when that tune was out, When Will I Be Famous? I remember I'd just sing it in the infant school. And everyone would laugh at, and I was singing it because I just liked the song. So I'm going, when will I be famous? And everyone's laughing at me. I'm going, it's not meant to be funny. Then I thought, well, actually, you know what? I seem to be entertaining people here. So.
Oh no, I was full on Brossette. I even had my hair spiked.
Would you like an acoustic version of When Will I Be Famous?
No, but go on.
I can't play it. I've got my ukulele songbook of Beatles songs. If it's not in that, I haven't got a chance.
Oh. I met him.
I know you actually. I think I know the story you're going to tell me. So go on.
So we used to work on the radio, and randomly I was working with I met Lisa at the time.
Yeah.
And I got this really random email from a guy in Australia who said that he was looking after Matt Goss's kind of promotional tour, and he was coming to Wrexham. And I'm like, Matt Goss is coming to Wrexham, of course. And I was like, how did you find out about
a once-in-a-lifetime event.
And he said, I was Googling Matt Goss, and your name came up. That's how much I must have posted online about him, that I came up in a search result. Anyway, this went on for ages, and he was like, I can arrange an interview, I can get him to come to the station. And I just thought the whole thing was a wind-up. And then we got an email the day before saying, just to confirm, Matt will be there around about 5 o'clock. Is that all right? Absolutely brilliant, yeah, no problem. And I'm still thinking it's a wind-up. I think it's someone in the office, or it's, it's my ex. Someone is having a bit of a laugh with us here. Gets to the day itself. We're doing the show. I'm kind of counting down. And both me and Lisa were looking at each other like, is this going to happen? Is it going to turn up? And I was still adamant that we wouldn't. Anyway, the door buzzer went. No, my phone went, and I got a call. So I answered it. Matt's in the car park. Can you let him in? And I'm like, no. I refused point blank to go out to the car park because I thought everyone in the office is going to be out there with like a gotcha sign or there'll be someone dressed up as Matt, and I'm just going to be a laughing stock.
The thing is as well, this is not the way it's meant to be, is it? This is your childhood idol who you loved, you had the poster up on the wall. I can imagine you looked at them and thought, one day I'm going to marry them. Yeah. It's going to be paradise and they're going to sweep me off my feet. Them turning up on their own with some Australian fella in a car park in Wrexham, that's just not the way it was meant to be, is it?
It wasn't. But eventually I thought, I'm going to have to go and at least look. So I kind of walked out to the fire, and they come to the fire exit. They hadn't even come in through the posh bit at the front. Posher
tradesman's
bit.
entrance.
So they were stood at the side, and I just stood staring. If you just imagine there's a fire exit. Matt Goss on one side, me on the other, like some kind of weird dating wall on Blind Date. And I just froze. I couldn't open the door or anything. I just stood looking at him. For about 5 minutes.
Can I touch your face?
I just want to lick you. And he was lovely. He held my hand for a whole hour. He let me kiss him and just molest him. And
you know what's really, really touching as well about it? That obviously Bec holds him in such high regard. In the year 2017, she's going to go and see him. She's talking about him now on this podcast. And I think it'd be great if you could actually meet up with him again, just so you can let him know exactly where the picture of you and Matt is placed and the importance that it holds in your room. Because one thing you will remember last week, we were talking about Bec's dead cat, which, by the way, has now become a bit of a celebrity. Bec's been taking this to events. I'm not even making this up. People have been asking Bec, can they see the dead cat? And she's been taking it to networking events. Yeah. That's a story for another time. But where little George's ashes are on the mantelpiece, just above it is the picture of Bec with one of the Goss boys.
It's like my little shrine to all things I love.
Yeah, all the things you love are there.
A wine bottle, dead cat.
Is he? Would you say that's your hero then?
Matt?
Yeah.
He's so much more than that, yeah. But yeah, Matt's the reason I'm still single.
No, I'm interested in this one. He's so much more than that. What is he? Expand on this, please.
He's the love of my life.
Expand on this while I play some beautiful music. He's the love of Bec's life.
Yeah. When I get asked, why are you still single at very nearly 40, it's because Matt hasn't proposed yet.
With you saying about meeting your hero, it just reminds me of the many a times when, because obviously the job that we did in radio and doing some TV and stuff, you do meet famous people. It's a hazard of the job, but it is great when you do meet that person that you really admire. It sounds a lot like when, and this happened quite a few times with me, but the one that makes me cringe the most when I look back on it, and it sounds similar to you and the Goss boy, was when I met Hasselhoff. I couldn't even speak.
Really?
Yeah, and this was at a bookshop in Chester. All I could say to him, because it was really, really weird that day, because what happened was he was doing a show on, I think it was the E! Network, where they were following him around. It was like Life with David Hasselhoff. So he rolls up at this event. It was a book signing. We only had a few minutes to talk to him. Outside parked was Knight Rider, a Knight Rider replica, which was brilliant. I was like, wow, it's Kit, even though it clearly wasn't the original Kit from Knight Rider. So anyway, eventually Hasselhoff turns in. I kid you not, he's walking past the crowd. They're all screaming, and he's filming it for this TV show. And he's saying to everyone, "Don't Hasselhoff, don't Hasselhoff." And I'm watching him walk towards me, and I'm like, I don't see David Hasselhoff. I don't see Mitch from Baywatch. I just see Michael Knight. Michael Knight is walking towards me right now. He's about to fight crime with me, and we're going to go off and live forever with him in his talking car. The boyhood dream's coming true here. And as he walks towards me, I think I've got to say something. I'm about to chat to him and about to do an interview. The only words that come out my mouth are, "Get in there, Hoff!"
Oh.
But the thing is I clench my fist while I do it. "Get in there, Hoff!" And Hasselhoff looked at me, grabbed me fist and went, "Thank you, man."
I'm cringe.
Sometimes it's best to not meet your heroes. What's lovely to see is that someone right now is hearing exactly what we're all about and is already reacting to my beautiful singing voice, because all throughout today's podcast we make it a regular feature. Jeff sings, or should I say Jeff just plays the same 2 chords on his ukulele.
Are they real
You
chords?
know, they are real chords.
Are
Yeah,
they?
I'm actually, what I've been doing is I've been playing you and trying to adapt it. A Beatles song for you, Blue.
Oh, right, thank you. Really?
You haven't even. By the way, I'm a bit sad that I brought this round to make you feel better, and you haven't even described the beauty of my ukulele.
It's a really nice ukulele. If you can be described, it's got Union Jack on the front.
Yeah.
It's a nice colour blue.
Remember the Brit Awards when Noel Gallagher had that Union Jack guitar, that big cool thing? Well, this isn't it. This is basically a ukulele that looks like it. But yeah, we've already had some reaction. I've just had a voicemail. I'm actually quite excited about this one. I've just been told apparently it's from Simon Cowell. This is apparently his reaction to my performance so far. I think he likes me.
Definitely. That's a proper ugly cry, that, as well, isn't it? You can tell the snot bubbles.
Stardom is on the way, most definitely for me. Hey, talking about stardom, this is something which is quite exciting. If you've been following Bec on her Instagram account or on Twitter, I've got to stop playing this.
Please.
Do you want to tell the story, actually? We'll be having, we'll be speaking to these people as well as we get nearer to this one, but there's quite a cool comedy tour which is coming up in 2018.
Yeah?
Well, I'll do the musical bed.
Oh, please don't. You're going to distract me.
I'll put it away.
Don't need to sit and watch you strum. I got a really random tweet a couple of weeks ago from this guy in Florida. Again, this shows that my level of cynicism with the world, because I just thought, again, it's a whole wind-up. Saying that they'd like to talk to me about working with him on a comedy tour in the UK. So I was like, yeah, brilliant, great. Anyway, whatever. Then I get an email off him explaining a bit more about it. Basically, they're bringing over 4 comedians from America.
Yeah.
And they want to do, it's going to be called the American Comedy Invasion. And they're going to do a series of gigs around the UK, and they want me to be kind of tour promoter / event manager. That's what I do now, events and all that kind of stuff. And he wants me to work with him. So I'm going on tour for 2 weeks.
So there's some exciting stuff, and that is in March 2018.
Yeah.
So as we build up to that one, we'll be giving you some more details on how you can take part in that one, and we'll be popping along some of them things. And we'll also have the comedians. There's 4 of them, isn't there?
There's 4 of them,
Who are
yeah,
gonna
and they're
be coming
brilliant.
on.
And really inappropriate as well, which I love. One of them, I fell off the settee. Actually did fall off the settee laughing at him.
We need to find out how old they all are as well, though, to see if they fit into our demographic, because apparently we're having a midlife crisis. Did you see there was a review of the podcast on a website? Let me just find it. I don't know if... In fact, no, I know you read this one because you took offence to the exact same part that I did. Brand new podcast. Just talking about me, Jeff Nolan has recently launched a brand new podcast. He's having a very early midlife crisis. Although he's practically 4 years away from being 40, he's starting to panic about it. His new series is called Chasing 40. It features him and his friend Bec trying to work out how they fit into this ever-changing world with this landmark birthday hanging over both of them. They have both worked in the radio industry for many years, so it also includes lots of behind-the-scenes stories from their careers.
Could you be any more offensive?
Yeah. Trying to figure out how we fit into this ever-changing world. To be honest, there's a bit of an element of truth for that with me. I don't know about Bec. She's a lot more advanced than me when it comes to that stuff.
I don't know that that's much of a compliment to be considered.
As evidence at the start of today's show, if you remember, the reason I brought the guitar in to play for Bec was because she had a heavy night last night. She was out drinking cocktails and drinking bottles of... what's the fake champagne called? Prosecco, yeah.
Fizz Friday?
That's what it is, isn't it, basically? The Prosecco. It's fake champagne.
Yeah.
Let's not kid ourselves
Although
on that
let's be cool about it and call it P-Sec.
P-Sec?
That's what the cool kids call it.
You know, if you wouldn't have pointed that out to me, I'd have thought you were talking about some rapper or something then. Oh, is he doing a song with Justin Bieber? So, yeah, she's out. She's still living a life, and she's still keeping young, whereas I was sat at home with my George Harrison book. Again, by the way, there's an update on me. I did tell you last week, I did warn you, don't follow me on Twitter. All I'll be doing is reading that book, and I still am.
I can't believe you've not finished it yet.
It'll be another one. Oh, you know what? Actually, following on from last week's show, and thank you very much for making me paranoid all week that I had grey hair. Because you know how neurotic I get about things. All I've done, and I mentioned, I was talking about my hairstyle, by the way. If you've not checked it out, you can check out previous episodes right now on whatever forum or whatever platform you listen to. But somebody very close to me had said that I had a 90s haircut. So I was like, oh, why'd you say that, Fee? Why'd you say that? So I asked Bec, and Bec said to me, no, you haven't got a 90s haircut, but you've got grey hair. And I'm like, what? I haven't got grey hair. No, yeah, you have. So that then put me on a paranoid tangent. So I then go back to the person who said I had a 90s haircut and argue back with her and say, I haven't got a 90s haircut. She then says to me, you're making material out of me. You're stealing. That was my joke. I'm going, what do you mean it was a joke? Well, yeah. I'm going, well, I took it seriously. And apparently now I've got grey hair. Have I got grey hair? And she was going, let me have a little look. I can't see any. But I've started when I'm asking people, have I got any grey hair? I'm covering my ears up because that's where Bec pointed to.
Do you know what? That's a good move, though, because I did get a text off someone saying to tell you, actually, I totally forgot about this, that sideburns aren't cool.
Who said this?
Mate of mine, Chris.
Sideburns are cool.
Are they, though? Are they?
These are, I wouldn't even class them as sideburns.
Really? What are they then?
Well, they're not even, compared to what I used to have, they were down there.
That's true.
But that's just an extension of my hair. I wouldn't even call it.
That's what people say about mullets as well.
Which, if I keep growing my hair the way I am at the moment, it will be. But that was, so anyway, I go back to that person and she says I haven't got grey hair anyway.
Okay.
So one of you are lying. So I need to get you two in a room to figure this one out and to stop making me paranoid. But it got worse. Wednesday afternoon, I go round and I see my dad. And hi, Dad, I have a little chat with him. And he just looks at me and I go, what are you staring at? And I didn't have any gel in my hair, so it was flopping down.
Oh, wow.
Now, it's going to make it sound even worse. When I haven't got my hair back, because it's that long, my fringe, I look a bit like Phil Oakey from the Human League.
Wow.
In his heyday. I don't walk around.
In his heyday? Did he ever have a heyday?
He did.
Did he?
Yeah. It was a very good spell in 1983 for the Human League. 81 to 83, the glory years, as I call them. But anyway, my hair flops down, and I tend to, if I've got a long day or I've got a meeting later on in the afternoon, I won't put the gel in. I'll leave it as long as possible.
Do you wear gel?
Well, I have hairspray, and it's not gel. It's
is it wet look gel that you get from the corner shop for 59p? It comes in all kinds of lovely colours.
I've got a specific brand that I always go for.
Yeah, go on.
Garnier.
Because you're worth it.
The hairspray I use is a woman's hairspray.
I'm not surprised by any of this.
And the gel has got, well, it's not even gel, it's like this sort of, it's like...
serum.
I don't know what it is, it's like this white liquid thing.
Something about Mary.
But anyway, I had to...
I can't look at your hair anymore now.
Well, look, I don't want to talk about this, I'm embarrassed. I'm going red.
Enough of the white gunk you put in your hair. Come on, what did your dad say?
Can we cut this? He said I look like Hitler. What?
Hitler?
Yeah. I said, Hitler? He went, yeah, when are you going to grow your tash? Whoa.
There's a line.
I do not look like Hitler. Take that back when you do. I don't look like Hitler.
You need to take a picture next time you've not got your white stuff in your hair.
I was going to say, I haven't got any evidence right now to back this up because I didn't take a picture at that time. But I'll send you one through the week, and next week when we get into next week's episode, from the off you can tell me whether or not I look like Hitler.
Excellent.
I don't look like Hitler. Can people just stop commenting on me? Just leave me alone. That's why I've stopped putting pictures of myself online. I just can't be bothered with the stress. I think that's enough from us then this week. But one thing you need to remember, apart from me being insane, and I don't look like Hitler, remember that's a key point as well. I don't want any tweets about that one through the week.
That's not necessarily a point. That'll be discovered next week.
Don't forget your pants. Whatever you're doing this week, do not forget your pants, because you don't want to be in a situation like I was this week, having to look back on 7 years ago when you attended one of your good friends' weddings and you didn't have your trousers. Honestly, it causes a whole host of problems, and in certain occasions, lawsuits. So just be careful. Right, remember, if you want to check us out, you want to check out the previous episodes, because I know week by week we're getting new people discovering and they're saying, what's this all about? We're now on to episode 4. That was episode 4 of Chasing 40. If you want to check out the previous ones, you can go to our YouTube channel. So if you listen on YouTube right now, just click on the logo, which is 29 there, and that will take you to a channel. There's loads of other stuff on there as well that you can check out. If you're listening on iTunes, of course, in the iTunes store, search Chasing 40. You'll find all the previous episodes there. You can leave us a review. And also as well on SoundCloud, same thing. Just go on there, search Chasing 40, and you'll find everything. All your listening delights are left there for you, ready for you to pick them up and unravel them and consume them in a beautiful, lovely, timely way. What am I talking about?
Are you alright?
No, I'm not.
Get your ukulele back.
Goodbye, my friend. See you next week, everyone.